He's in the truck. We're in Griffin this time.
It just happened.
I was at an Adopt a Stream meeting, and it slipped right off the keyring into the truck as the door closed, and I was like, well, that's gonna stink.
How big's the population? 20,000 plus in the city.
Is the city of Griffin? Correct. Okay. Now, you service only Griffin?
Alexa, are you a scientist?
I'm a biologist.
You're a biologist, yes.
I know. We got to sit on high. Damselfly. You have a healthy stream. You have areas where you have a lot of rocks and a lot of oxygen being delivered into the stream, and you have macroinvertebrates like the dragonfly or the damselfly. You're more likely to have less biting flies because you have a balanced population. So when we have streams like the one that we saw with the cattle, the problem there is because the cattle cause such degradation of the stream banks, and there's so much sediment coming into the system, those rocks get covered. And so when you're missing that habitat, you're missing an entire section of macroinvertebrates that could be helping to keep your stream in balance. We're here, 7 o'clock. Pack everything into the vehicle, double check our calibrations, make sure everything's good, get everything packed, get in the vehicle, go over to the next street over, which has a big old ice maker, fill up 6 coolers, because we have City of Griffin, Pace Labs, ice. And then we have a second set that says City of Griffin, Pace Labs, ice. And Craig, who is a phenomenal person, brings them to us halfway, because halfway through the day, these coolers are completely slap full and they need to be taken to the labs. So halfway through our day, Craig comes and gets our full coolers, takes them over to our lab, and signs, does the chain of custody thing with that. And then he gives us the empty ones, the new empty ones, and we go out the rest of the day. So it's like, but we've gotten really good at it, so that's the good part.
Hey.
Down it. Down the hole. Down the other hole. All right. Let's see.
Which way? Can you grab that?
I'm just gonna lay that down right there.
Okay.
Okay. And help me change it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but hold on to that. I really hope I don't take it. Keep jumping down.
I mean, fine.
You laughing at me?
No,
You laughing
not
at me?
yet. I will be.
All right, 1.2 feet per second. Uh, 1.4. Hi, Craig. Bye, Craig. I get my storage solution. I was like, why is this thing not working? Well, I found out that the last time it was used, it got hung up somewhere and wasn't cleaned and had nothing. It just was hung up. So now it can be hung up. Now that it's been cleaned and it's been rinsed and we've had this storage solution, we can hang it up. And there have been times that you're so exhausted that you don't think about, I need to immediately drop everything that I'm doing and open this thing up and clean it and put it back so that it can be stored or is ready for the next time. So that is something that is a problem, just because it's a long day. So it's usually, like I said, we get here at 7. We want to be rolling out the door at the first site by 8. And we are usually done around 2:30 to 3 o'clock. But that means that we take a 15-minute break for lunch. That is it, 15 minutes. And then when you get back, you have to make sure you have enough ice in the coolers, where the cooler's going to be. You know, obviously we've already been to the wastewater treatment plant to take to the lab. who are wonderful. They are so wonderful to us. And then get the other one ready, the chain of custodies and things like that, make sure everything's signed and ready to go in. And so that's, I guess, when we have the form that we fill out, it's so important to record everything. We record ambient temperature, we record the times, we record everything on that. And that helps us at the end of the day be able to make sure that everything else is accurate. So, as you can see, we have Gorilla Tape on here to keep that from popping off. That's what it does.
You have to go through this every time you switch.
Yeah, the tangle, the wild tangle, yes. So, hey, you guys are the magic. It actually read it. It's recognized it. So, let's make a mental picture. It's got to be set up exactly like this the next time we calibrate. Exactly like this. Don't move any cords. But yeah, so I think we've kind of looked at the differences between the more updated version versus this version and how it can be more user-friendly. This is not too bad once you get used to it. We always pull up the video and we try to watch them every time we do it, not from memory so much because I personally forget little details that I would prefer not to forget.
And then how are you funded? Are you...
We're funded through a utility, so that means that people pay a stormwater fee
Yeah.
or stormwater utility fee, and that's collected according to stormwater utility, quickly, because once again, transparency is incredibly important. People ask, why am I paying for God's water? Why am I paying for your water? And we try and explain that we're all part of this problem that we're trying to mitigate as much as possible. And so here we put in how our utility works, our residential, our greater than residential, commercial ordinances, permits, all of the things that they might need to know. We put it where they can find it, and also trying to educate them as much as possible about why they need to be more careful with the water coming off their property. So there's a lot of things going on that are very, very much so education. Oftentimes education is looked at as the last thing, when really it needs to be the forefront. If I'm out there teaching the next generation of Griffinites how to do this right, then there's a possibility of having an adult population in the future that really takes much better care of their watershed.
So this is a difficult question to answer. If you could change one thing about your job, one thing that you wish you could do that would have the biggest impact on people taking care of your watershed?
See, that is a really, really hard question.
It's loaded.
It is, because recently we've had this thing come to light about people throwing trash out of their vehicles on the side of the road. And one group was saying, and this is not necessarily, I'm not criticizing this, but said, slap a fine on them. People don't like confrontation like that. If you cannot respond to a person positively and create a positive moment to teach them something new, they will never learn it, ever. So what we need to do is, how do we reward people and positively reinforce the positive behavior? That's what I would like to change, and I don't know how I would change it. I don't know how I could reach out more. Maybe, I wish we have a TV station. We could do funny commercials and we could involve the kids and do fun stuff like that. So basically be able to tell people why it makes an impact. That's incredibly important. They don't realize that the water that when they open up that tap, that water is the same water that they threw that McDonald's bag in this morning. It is the same water. It will always be the same water. And so helping them understand that water is so degraded and costs so much money because we have to spend so much time and effort in making sure it is safe for them to drink. And that's a huge thing. We get asked the question is, why is my water bill so high? Number one, you probably have a leak. Number two, if people stopped polluting the water, then it wouldn't be as expensive to clean it. We're small. We're only, the city of Griffin is kind of tiny a little bit. And so we work well together. We, like I said, sewer, they get along great. I get along great with them. I get along great with water. I get along great with most people, let's be honest. But they have always been willing to work with me and to help me and me to help them. And so we call each other. Code enforcement, fantastic. Bring them on board. We love our code enforcement. They're wonderful. Somebody's dumping pool water down a stream again.
Look,
enforcement.
through the roof.
Oh,
What's
wow.
going on
You
here?
take a little chloride tablet and you fill it up, and look, it's bright red. It's fuchsia. Yay, we know we have just a tiny bit.
Do you have a volunteer monitoring program?
We do. We do. We have the Adopt a Stream program. So Griffin High School, their environmental AP teacher, Lisa Henderson, is doing chemical and macroinvertebrate monitoring with her AP environmental science students.
Nice.
And so we go down and we do all kinds of monitoring with them. We also have a cleanup at their site. And then there was County Road Elementary School, who walks the kids a mile to the next stream next door at the park and gets them to do macroinvertebrate sampling. And that is where my joy is. As you can tell. I love it. It's fantastic. Having a kid hold a dragonfly in their hand for the first time and make that connection, because that's where we're going to be successful. We will not be successful with adults unless you can create a different kind of connection with them. But with the kids, if you can help them have a love and appreciation for nature, water, and water quality, they will grow up to be different adults.